Welcome back. And if you think this doesn't really quite look like my farm in Valley Springs, you're correct. That's because we've popped across the Irish Sea briefly to come and help a friend with some farm work over here in the good old UK. Hence why we're not in Valley Spring right now. We will be back there time for the next video. Now, interesting enough, I asked the PA ploughman what he thought of the Mini I chose for him, and he said he liked it, but he's 6'1", so he'd struggle to get into a Mini. Now, rather than change his car, it actually made me smile to myself, because I know that Fury Machine Gaming is also 6'1", and I'm 6'2.5", so I'm kind of imagining the three of us in this little Mini would kind of look a bit ridiculous. It looked like clowns in a car, pretty much. So yeah, we've all come over to the UK in P.A. Ploughman's Mini to do a bit of farm work. Well, to tell the truth, I got asked to come over and mow a few fields over here to help a cousin I've got over here in good old Blighty. And as soon as P.A. Ploughman found out that my cousin likes his international tractors, he was like, yeah, I'll come with you. And we've brought Fury Machine Gaming along as well, because we've got a bit of a surprise for him. Let's go up and have a look at we'll get some of this field done. And I also wanted to whoa okay, we had a few too many beers for those fish and chips for lunch, I think. Never mind, no harm no foul, or as they say, it's all fun and games until someone loses an eye. So we'll just keep on this road, and it's a fairly narrow road, so we shouldn't see any cops here. It won't matter that we've had a couple too many beers, as long as we can get to this paddock safely and get these fields mowed. And then I shall demonstrate this this surprise that we've brought Fury Machine Gaming over to show him. Gee, those deer are really jumping in front of the car. Don't think a car as small as this Mini, even with three big clowns in it, would fare very well against a deer. Came to that. It doesn't actually have very good acceleration, this Mini. It seems to be very, very slow off the mark, but that's alright. Now somewhere around here, let's go to the outside view for a second so I don't miss it. Yeah, here we go, this is the gate I was after. So we'll just pull into this gateway here. So here is the international tractor that I'll be using today. And yes, I know this is an American style tractor, which might seem a bit odd on a UK map. I wanted to use a tractor that was a bit different from what I have on my own farm. Now this one is an International. Of course, International, they started out as a company called Farmall. And then Farmall became International Harvester. International Harvester, I think, became International. And then they became Case IH, or just Case for short. So they've had quite a history of name changes, probably almost as many as Ford New Holland have. So we're just going to get this field mowed. I've already mowed the other one before lunch, so we'll just mow this one now, and then we'll go down to the farm itself to show you the reason we dragged Fury Machine Gaming all the way over the Irish Sea to here. Now, AK mentioned the other day when I was doing some job, I don't even remember what job I was doing, I might have been rolling, I think, and he said there was quite a lot of dust coming off the roller there. So I mentioned to him that, yes, in fact I had a dust bod which I'm using, and I'm still using here. Now if I bring up the menu for a second, so I've currently got that set at 1.5, and that's about where I normally have it set, which does create a fair bit of dust. As you can see, there's a fair rack of dust coming off that mower there. But to demonstrate this a little bit more, we'll just stop for a second. So let me demonstrate here. I can turn it down. It can go down as far as 0.1. So on 0.1 there, you now see there's absolutely no dust coming off that mower whatsoever. It's even less than what the normal in-game without the mod would have, I suspect. And it goes up as far as 3.0. So 3.0, if we carry on now, you can see there's so much dust coming off there now we can't even see the tractor, and that tractor's bright red and we still just can't even see it. Now you can set with the dust mod, you can set it to how much dust you want for each individual type of vehicle. So like you can set a setting for mowers, you can set a setting for combine harvesters, you can set a setting for anything you want like that. In the highest setting here, and the other thing is because you can adjust it on the go, it means that if, for an example, because I don't think that the weather, it takes the weather into account when it's working out the dust to use there. So if it's just been raining fairly recently, you can turn the dust down a wee bit because everything will be damped down a bit and there wouldn't be as much dust. And if it's sort of the end of a long dry summer, you can turn the dust right up and have it as high as you want. And I actually tried with the combine harvester earlier, but there's no crops ready to harvest at the moment, so I couldn't demonstrate with the harvester here today. But you can turn the dust cloud up so much that it looks like the harvester's actually caught on fire or something. So, and obviously an older harvester would probably create more dust than a newer one, so you can sort of, you have everything set to how you want it generally, and I have it at 1.5 as I said, which is where it's at now, but you can turn it up or down to suit the actual occasion. And if you want to do a story mode type thing where you were going to have a harvester catch on fire in a field, and where that comes in really, really handy is if you find yourself with too much money, because in this game, once you get on your feet, it can take an awfully long time to get out of debt in this game, but once you do get out of debt and you on your feet a bit more, it starts to become quite easy to make money. So you can't, or if you're me at any rate, you start to look for ways to spend money. And if you've already upgraded all the vehicles you want to upgrade on the farm, and let's be honest, I like running old vehicles, so I like running small equipment, so there's not a lot of upgrading I ever want to do, because I don't want to buy all the latest and greatest and the biggest and best of everything, because that's not the way I enjoy the game. So I look for other ways to spend money, and one of the ways that I sometimes spend money is if I'm making too much, I'll decide my combine harvester can catch on fire or something like that, and I've got to sell that. I sell that harvester, and I have to buy another one. Even if I'm just buying another one of the same make and model, which I won't necessarily, but even if I do, just having equipment totally fail like that. I mean, one of the ways I've always played is that if I get a vehicle so stuck that I have to reset it to get it out of where I've got it, then I treat that as it's broken down beyond repair and it has to be dumped and replaced with another vehicle instead. So, oh, missed a bit of grass there. Since I get a bit pedantic about these things, I'll go back and grab it. So yeah, if I get a vehicle absolutely stuck in a ditch or something, I just cannot get it out without resetting it, then I will sell it and I will buy another replacement vehicle for it. So I do tend to spend a lot of money through that sort of thing, and because I'm doing dairy farming too, it can be quite hard to make money on a dairy farm in FS22, because although there is decent money to be had in the milk, cows take a lot of food, so you end up having a fairly small herd rather than a much larger herd. I mean, I think on my dairy farm at the moment I've only got 40 cows that I'm actually milking and things, which is a very small herd indeed, although my understanding from reading Google and things, it's not unreasonably small for an Irish farm. Irish dairy farms can have very small herds. In New Zealand, a small dairy farm in New Zealand would have 200 cows at least. So very, very smallest dairy farm in New Zealand would have a good 200 cows. So having 40 cows on your dairy farm would definitely not be realistic for New Zealand, but for Ireland, based on what I've read, it could be realistic. So yeah, I've got 40 cows, and I've got to be honest, I'm playing on 2-day months on my main map, and I'm making, in the summer, I make about $20,000 to $25,000 every day, which of course represents 2 weeks from milk sales and things. But the cows are so damn expensive, and I like to replace them when they get to 5 years of age. So yeah, once my herd gets to 5 years, I replace them. I try and stagger them a wee bit so I don't have to replace all of them all at once. But when I do have to replace some, boy, is that expensive. So it turns out to be very difficult to actually make money in the long run on a dairy farm. Now, that probably actually brings me around to another point. My farm on Valley Springs is always going to be primarily a dairy farm, because that's what I want to do. I want to do dairy farming. But I do like to diversify a wee bit, as much as anything, just for the fun factor, because with the dairy farm, you know, every morning you feed the cows, and the way I've got mine set up, I have summer fields and winter fields, so when it's getting close to winter I have to move all the cows down to their summer fields at the bottom of the hill and things, and when the winter's over I move them back up onto the hill, onto the summer fields. But apart from that, apart from feeding them and moving them a bit, there's not a lot to do on a dairy farm. So, you know, I have those 2 paddocks behind the houses. You may recall the 2 houses I've got that Fury Machine Gaming and AK own. Well, those 2 houses, behind those I've got 2 fields of crops, which are currently in peas. Now, because I don't want to be a crop farmer primarily, I want it to stay as a dairy farm as a primary thing. I don't even own a combine harvester on that particular farm, and I just lease one when I need to harvest those 2 fields. And the real reason I've got those 2 fields of crops is for diversity's sake, just so I've got something else to do. I've got a few chickens, although to tell the truth, the eggs are, I've got like 8 chickens, so they really don't produce much in the way of eggs. It's really not worth having them from an egg perspective, and the real reason that I have them is because I like to add life to the farmyard. So I like to have chickens wandering around the farmyard, I like to have a dog wandering around the farmyard. Okay, we'll finish that field now. So hopefully PA Ploughman has had a good nosy at this international tractor now. So now we will head down to the farmhouse, or to the farmyard. I will show you why we dragged Fury Machine Gaming along with us on this trip. With us. So yeah, 3 big guys in the Mini, just a bunch of clowns having fun on a couple of days trips out, sort of thing. But anyway, so I've diversified the farm a wee bit more now as well, and this is the reason, the other reason we've come over here. The work I've done on the farm, which you'll see in my next video, cost $500,000 to do in game, and that's how much it really cost of in-game dollars. Now, I said right at the beginning of this series that the biggest overdraft I could have was $200,000. However, I have got a few more fields in the farm now than when I said that. So the reason I said that was because in real life the bank wouldn't lend more money than what it thought it could recover if it had to seize your assets and sell them. And so since the farm's now bigger, I thought, well, the bank would probably be willing to lend me up $250,000 now. So what I've done, okay, we're at the farmyard now, so I've got myself, I've given myself a $250,000 overdraft, which is still only half the money we needed, and so Fury Machine Gaming was complaining on one of his last videos that he had too much money, so I've decided that he's going in as a partner on this new venture on my farm. So he's lent us another $250,000 to create the $500,000 I needed. So I kind of felt like I wanted to give him a thank you of some sort, because I'm not paying him very much interest or anything on that money. So as you probably know, if you've seen his profile and things before, he has a Farmall H tractor with the 2 wheels up the front that are very, very close together, and he still owns that. And when he was a young tyke on his farm in real life, his dad also had a Farmall M with the wider track at the front here. So my cousin here said, well, look, I've got an old Farmall M that you could buy off me if you wanted to. So here it is, a Farmall Super M, and I thought I'd bring a few machine gaming over to see this, and if he likes this, and I'll buy this for him as a thank you for lending me the 250,000 for the farm extension and buying into the farm in that way. You do like it? Okay, well, that will complete your collection. You can have 2 Farmall tractors. Then you have the Farmall M and the Farmall H. But anyway, so in my next video, you will get to see the change I've made to my farm, my dairy farm, and on Ballyspring, which cost 500,000 to do. I couldn't believe it cost so much. Yeah, so I think we'll call this a day now here. We'll head back from Blighty and try and catch the last ferry back home again, and head back to Ireland, and we'll be back in time for me to record another video showing you the latest changes in my farm. Thank you very much. Okay, bye.